Once just an acronym, BRICS is now a political and economic powerhouse, challenging the old global order. The bloc built new institutions and launched the new development bank, moving beyond photo ops. The economic center of gravity has shifted east and south, but power remains in the west. In 2026, BRICS stands at the center of geopolitics, redrawing maps of influence. The rise of BRICS is the rise of the rest. BRICS has moved from the margins to the center. A new world is taking shape. In 2024, BRICS became BRICS Plus, adding Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Iran. This wasn't just expansion. It was a strategic shift, making the bloc more diverse and powerful. Energy giants Saudi Arabia and UAE brought oil and financial clout. Iran added geopolitical heft. Egypt, control of the Suez Canal. Ethiopia, Africa's growth engine. The bloc now represents a true global alternative, a coalition of civilizational states with independent foreign policies. These new members seek a world where their voices matter. By joining BRICS, they're betting on a multipolar future and diversifying alliances beyond the West. The message: BRICS is open for business, a club for those sidelined by Western institutions. Criteria for joining: strategic importance and a shared desire for a balanced world order. Dozens more countries are lining up, drawn by the bloc's growing influence. The expansion is just beginning. BRICS is now a magnet for the global south. The world is taking notice. The expanded BRICS bloc is now a global economic colossus, built on three pillars: energy, trade, and finance. With Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Iran, BRICS rivals OPEC, controlling vast oil and gas reserves and global energy prices. Europe, once secure, now faces a new energy reality. In trade, BRICS commands a massive share of global GDP and controls key supply chains and maritime routes. Members increasingly trade in local currencies, bypassing the US dollar and building economic resilience. The new development bank funds infrastructure without Western strings attached. Talk of a BRICS settlement currency is gaining momentum, not to replace the dollar, but to offer a real alternative. This new financial architecture challenges the dollar's dominance and US leverage. BRICS is no longer just a group of emerging economies. It's a force reshaping global markets and finance. The world is watching as the ground shifts. The epicenter of change is BRICS. The old rules no longer apply. A new economic order is emerging. As BRICS rises, Europe faces economic stagnation, high energy costs, and deindustrialization. The war in Ukraine exposed Europe's energy vulnerability, ending its era of cheap Russian gas. Industries struggle, jobs vanish, and social discontent grows. Europe feels squeezed between an assertive US and a rising China, questioning its place in the world. Even the US-dominated financial system feels less secure. Old certainties are gone. European leaders are searching for new partners and strategies. In this climate of crisis, BRICS' appeal grows. The continent is rethinking its future. Some European nations are quietly looking east, seeing BRICS as an opportunity, not a threat. Hungary, under Viktor Orban, has deepened ties with Russia and China, seeking more sovereignty and economic options. Serbia, balancing between Europe and the East, sees BRICS as a way to boost its leverage and diversify partnerships. Even Turkey, a NATO member, flirts with BRICS to assert its regional power and independence. Within the EU, skepticism remains, but strategists know they can't ignore BRICS' growing clout. The goal isn't joining, but cooperating on climate, development, and finance. In a multipolar world, Europe can't afford just one set of friends. The conversation is shifting. Pragmatism is replacing old loyalties. The future is open. At the heart of BRICS lies a bold ambition to challenge the US dollar's supremacy. The dollar's dominance gives America immense power, especially through sanctions. BRICS nations, especially Russia and China, are pushing de-dollarization for security and sovereignty. More trade is settled in local currencies, insulating members from US financial pressure. The idea of a BRICS settlement currency, backed by commodities, not replacing national currencies, gains traction. This would create a parallel financial system outside Western control. The plan is complex, but its announcement alone has shaken global finance. For Europe, this is both a risk and an opportunity, potentially loosening US influence. The world is watching BRICS' next move. The challenge to the dollar is real. The rise of BRICS signals a decisive shift to a multipolar world. American dominance is over. New centers of power are emerging. Nations now pursue multi-alignment, security with the US, trade with China, energy with BRICS. Middle powers have more agency, no longer just pawns in great power games. BRICS' appeal stretches from Asia to Africa, Latin America, and even Europe. The West watches with caution, fearing fragmentation and the rise of anti-Western coalitions. Europe faces tough choices: maintain old alliances or build new bridges. The future will be shaped by competition and cooperation between these great poles of power. The unipolar world is history. The multipolar world is here. The chessboard is set. The game has just begun.